This video has been brought to you by Hardcore Productions, working harder than you all the time. Now let's begin with World War I. World War I began in 1914 and led to a boost in the American economy when it officially ended in 1919. America's economy was booming and the start of a new decade looked promising. Moving on to Prohibition. The 18th Amendment was passed in 1919 and made alcohol illegal. The passing of this law led to gangbanging and illegal distribution and selling of alcohol. Police officers and government officials were bribed by gang leaders to ignore their activities. In the late 1920s, police officers became stricter with their rules about prohibition. By 1933, the law was repealed and alcohol was once again legal. And now, time for the notorious gangster, Al Capone. He was so known as one of the most notorious gang leaders of all time. Because of Prohibition, he made thousands of dollars off his illegal distribution of alcohol by opening speakeasies. He paid off government officials and policemen in order to stay out of jail and for him to go about his business freely. On February 14th, 1929, Al Capone had his gang shot down and killed 7 members of a rival gang. This notorious act was so known as the Valentine's Day Massacre. Al Capone was soon put in prison where he stayed for most of the rest of his life before dying at the age of 48. And now for something completely different. The KKK originated in the South in the 1860s. Originally began because of the white Southerners' opposition to African American slaves' freedom and equality. By the 1870s, the gang had disappeared, but in the 1820s, they rose up and flourished once again. I hope you brought your dancing shoes, because now it's time for jazz. During the 1920s, women began cutting their hair into boyish styles, wearing shorter skirts. They would go out dancing and drinking freely. Bars, saloons, and speakeasies were popular hangout spots for these women. These changes were deemed unacceptable by older generations. Charles Lindbergh dared to make a solo flight across the Atlantic. On the morning of the flight, he packed 4 sandwiches into canteens and flew. Technology improved immensely. Construction workers were paid little. It was dangerous.